So you have a sewing machine and you want to try out the freehand machine embroidery technique. That's great. But how do you know whether or not your machine is actually even going to be capable of doing this? Now, I want to start out by saying you don't need a specific type of machine to do this technique. You don't need an embroidery machine or a really high-end machine. Really, all you need is a domestic sewing machine in good working order. I have taught this technique to hundreds of people over the years, come across so many different makes and models of machines, and I'm yet to come across a machine that we have not been able to get set up and working for freehand work. So chances are your machine will work just fine, but there are a few little things that we're going to need to maybe change and do and check to make sure that it's going to work well for you. The first thing is your machine needs to be happy and healthy. You need to have it in good working order. So if you haven't used your machine for a while, if it's been sitting in a cupboard for a couple of years, or maybe someone's given you a machine and you've never actually even got it out to try, I would highly recommend that you take it to a sewing machine mechanic first and get it looked over, get it serviced so that it's in good working order and you know there's no main problems that you're going to encounter to begin with. You have a machine that's raring and ready to go. Even if you are a regular sewer, I also would suggest that you clean and oil your sewing machine before you get started. It's always good practice to regularly maintain your machine yourself. And if you're not sure how to do that, you just need to check your manufacturer's instructions. There will be instructions on how to clean and oil your specific make and model of machine. Another thing I suggest before you get started is to pop in a new needle. I like to use Sharps or jeans needles, about a size 90, but it really doesn't matter what needle you're using as long as it's a good new one and it's suited to the particular thread and fabric that you're stitching on. Other things that you need to be aware of with your machine, we're going to need to disengage our feed teeth to do free motion work. They're the little teeth that run around under here in normal sewing. In most cases, this will just be a simple setting on your machine that you will turn off, but there might be some more complicated cases where we'll have to cover the teeth. The other thing that you're going to want to source, and it might be something that you have to buy separately, is a specialist foot for this type of work. So that's either a free motion embroidery foot or a darning foot. They're very similar and they do the same thing. So that's what you need in a sewing machine to do free motion work. It's actually not very much, and chances are the machine that you have will work just fine.